All right, so what do we got going on this one? We got a 1972 Chevelle Convertible. It's a beautiful car. She needs some TLC. She needs some loving. She's a little dirty. We got a few things that we got to take care of. It's a 502 with a 4L80 in this thing. Nice setup. It's got a sniper kit up on top, but we got some issues. That top is leaking. We got some mold growing in the interior. We got some funk going on underneath the hood. We're going to take care of them and get this thing back on the road, get it roadworthy, and also check this out. That's right, this thing is going to get some 24s put on it. Am I going to be doing it? Well, I'll explain that here in 1 second. Here she is. Now, I would say you could cut and buff this thing and bring it back to life, but you can tell, man, she's been sitting outside for a while. She's dirty and all that. There's the 502, and again, you can see how absolutely dirty and just, it's not just dirt, it's the grease, I'm thinking we got a problem with the power steering kind of leaking everywhere. It's like furry grease, just besides the dirt and everything. It's just like this like the cottonwood that's outside has just found its way on everything, and the underside is worse than this. There's some red flags. I'm gonna go over and check some of those lines up there, make sure things are tight, make sure everything's sealed up good here. You can see where this is starting to fray a little bit. It looks like somebody's already tried to screw with this, so I don't know if this has been corrected and they just kept the old belt on it. I'd like to get this thing running and then see if it starts moving or if it starts to fray a little bit more. Super duper red flag right here is somebody hit the pan. I mean, really kissed the pan. Somebody smacked the pan. Yeah, I mean, that's a pretty damn good hit right there. And your oil pickup is right here. That should be flat across from that edge to that edge, and you can see where this is completely indented up. Would that cause a problem up top in the rear main seal up in here and make things leak? It's a possibility. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna tighten up all the bolts on the oil pan. Also, I noticed on the transmission, let me grab the light again, the speedometer cable itself is starting to leak, and you can see it leaking out of the transmission a little bit. So I'm gonna check some seals, check tightness and things like that, because you can see where, yeah, look at it. I mean, you can see where it's just been spraying the car down underneath. But the first things first is we're addressing the carpet, because this thing, the interior is nice in this car. I like it. It's got a nice dashboard, nice buckets console and all that. Like I said, she's got a nice dash, buckets, console. This thing's got a freaking kicking system in it and all that, but that is all the mold. And that right there needs to freaking go. It just stinks in here. And at that point, first things first is the carpet. So now that I got the front section out of this thing and got the seats out of it, I noticed it was more than just the footwell that had some mold on it. We got some here too. As you can see, this is what would be underneath the seat. So yeah, we got some mold growing in here. So yeah, we'll get all this stuff taken out. I just got to get all the shifter and all that stuff kind of removed, but we'll get this back section out. It doesn't look like really anything bad on the floor. It looks like it's got nice solid floors in it, which is always a freaking thumbs up, man. Especially convertibles. Holy shit. They are notorious for just rotting out. I would be curious when this back section comes out. I got to get the seat belts out and then this back piece will come out. It's no big deal. If there's been patch panels put in. If there's no patch panels, That's kind of a rarity, especially with convertibles, because you can see how it already is leaking now. Now imagine leaking from 1972. Holy crap, it's just notorious. Same thing with like the Mustang. Almost anything that's a convertible, you just got to think of water damage, because seals go bad, stuff just starts, you know, drying up and just giving way to where water just finds every nook and cranny. All right, take this thing to the freaking dumpster. Now we can totally see it. So yeah, she's got a little bit of, you know, what I would consider just like freckled rust. Here's that front section. This stuff here. All right, so the lowdown on this stuff. This is expensive, but the point is, if you got to go through something similar to this, or you're going to do the frame underneath the car or anything like that, why go cheap? If you're going through something like this where you're going to spend all this time ripping apart the interior to go to Ace Hardware and buy some like spray-on black Rust-Oleum type paint, guys, you're freaking wasting your time. This, I like this stuff because it's an oil-based paint. What's that mean? It's waterproof. But this stuff is sticky. Water can, you know, literally lay on top of it. It could be a pool, and it's not going to make its way through. Matter of fact, you can see how much it's sealing up trying to get this frickin' lid off of how good this stuff actually is. For chassis and things like that, like for my Silverado, it works great, especially for something that's going to be outside all the time. You're going to use it as a daily. Holy shit. You're going to use it as a daily. This is good stuff. This is very, very good stuff. Holy shit. This is some Scooby-Doo smelling stuff. What do I mean by that? Well, after a while, you get around this stuff, next thing you know, you're like, zoinks! Oh, come on, Scoob! You want to go get some Scooby snacks? You know, and it turns into, sure did, Shaggy. That's why I don't have my mask on, man. Why did I have my mask on doing taking the carpet out? All the nastiness of fungus and mold and all that, well, you guys know, or maybe some of you don't know, that my wife's got stage 4 cancer. The last thing I need to do is bring some of that shit home, or I get sick, and then I get her sick, so no. Ain't taking the chances. But the little get a contact buzz with this zoinks, man. What are you thinking, Scoob? Yeah, we'll get ourselves a little contact buzz. That builds confidence in customers that are probably watching these videos going, do I really want to bring my car or engine over to this crazy son of a bitch? Well, you got to have a sense of humor. Especially when you're working by yourself, doing your things here. You gotta have a sense of humor. You gotta enjoy yourself, man. If you don't enjoy yourself, this would be boring as all hell, man. So, all I'm doing is just painting over the main rusted areas. I am not painting this whole floor. I am not doing that. I'm doing what is literally, you know, kind of got molded over and was getting rusted on. That's all I am doing. So, got that one done. 3 more sections. That front one's not bad. That's dog shit. That's honestly more rusty than what this one is. This got a little bit going on it, but since we're here, we might as well make sure we get a coat on here. Oh yeah, I'm loving the smell. I'm loving the smell. Brain cells keep popping away. You know, I love it when people sit there going, oh man, putting carpet in a car, that is so easy. It's just like an hour-long job. Yeah. Good luck on that shit. Oh, it's like 88 degrees and solid humidity right now. I got the fan going and just, holy crap, sweat my balls off in this thing. She's coming along, man, but there's a lot of trimming. I could just kind of half-ass it and throw it in. Sure, why not? Only takes maybe an hour to do. Now it's starting to look like a frickin' interior. Center console's all in, everything's wired back up, grounds are done for the Holly Sniper, all that was hooked up off the shifter. Got this kick panel in, I gotta put that one in. I just trimmed out my holes for the seats. Seat belts are in, ready to rock and roll. Oh, we're getting close, my friends. Now that is looking good. No mold, it's all gone, nice. Fresh black carpet put in there. That looks so much frickin' nicer. So much frickin' nicer. Oh yeah. Let me get that back there. So we are all good to go. So now this is the next thing to address. As you can see, this is loose. This, you can try to put it back in. It just, it's nothing. It just flops like a frickin' rubber band. So that right there is probably numero uno of why it was leaking so bad. So I'm gonna see if I got some adhesive glue, and I'm gonna glue that in, tape the rubber to it, and you let it sit for like 24 hours, let the glue set up and actually bond to it, and then I should be able to take the tape back off. I should be able to do that tomorrow. I know you guys are going, hey man, what the hell's going on with those 24s? We'll get into that in a second. But first things first, let's get this underside of the engine situated. Now you can see, you know, the pan's not gonna get any cleaner than that. But she's all cleaned up in that sense. Transmission pan, speedometer, all that crap. Now we have a fresh starting point to see if we find anything that's gonna be leaking. So first things first, tighten up the pan. You know, got the control arms all cleaned up as well. From it being so bad, pretty much in this area, from say I'm right underneath the transmission pan, from this area forward was what I was really noticing was just covered in oil. The control arms, everything underneath here. That's why I was saying, I wonder if the pan from getting hit up top, if somehow the pan getting smacked so hard, basically opened it up a little bit, or it hit so hard that it loosened up the bolts. I don't know yet. I'm gonna tighten it up. I'm gonna give you an answer. Oil pan doesn't seem to be too bad. Let's check the transmission pan and the speedometer. The speedometer, yes, ooh. So this is what I think is leaking. There's a little bracket that holds this on, and then this has got an O-ring, I believe, inside of it. Reason why is I came into that this morning. So I am gonna pull this little goober off right here, slide this out. I wanna see if there's an O-ring, if it's got a tear in it, something like that. So here's what we had that was leaking. Like I said, this little O-ring just didn't have enough bite coming out of it, and I would bet you money that this is the original O-ring from the transmission. So I'm gonna try to get this frickin' O-ring out of here. There we go. All right, so we get this guy off. Had to special order this one in, so they had it. Should pretty much be the same thing here. Yeah, this one's so stretchy. I mean, this thing's tight compared to that guy. So let's see what we got. Yeah, you guys aren't probably gonna see it, but this protrudes, this sticks out farther than what these edges are. This old one here was almost flat and even, so I'll bet you money I'm gonna have to grease this to be able to get it in. When I took this out, it literally, even being in and clamped down, I could take it and go, and that's what was making it leak as well. To pull it out was just, and it just popped right out. I'm curious, putting this in, it should like, you should have to force this in a little bit or lube these edges up and just kind of grind it in, not grind it in there, but it should go in a lot firmer because this O-ring is going to be nice and tight. Oh yeah, that's a lot tighter. I don't even have it in yet. Holy shit. I just want to clean off the excess training fluid, but this is just the lock key. Basically, it's just going to hold 2 fingers on that piece and then just hold it in place. And that, my friends, is pretty much it. O-rings tend to take a shit. You know what I mean? It's just one of those things. And a lot of times people just, they won't replace them. So it wasn't too horrible. Was it my 10 millimeter? You know, it wasn't too bad. I'm gonna be nice. I'm gonna give this thing a bath. I'm gonna do a little cleanup on it. I mean, this thing is just covered. As you can see, this has been sitting outside way too long. Now, I know you guys are curious on the big wheels. What's going on with those? Okay, my boy, Steve, who owns Executive Motorsports, who is probably, I will say in the state of Michigan, probably one of the best big wheel lowrider guys out there. If you've never heard of Executive Motorsports and you're into the big wheel and the lowrider scene, guys, go check him out. He's the man at that point. He gave me the lowdown on what it would take to be able to do this, and he wasn't doing secret squirrel stuff. He was flat out telling me, he goes, if you want me to kind of guide you through what you have to do, I'll do it for you. And Steve is cool like that. He's just cool like that. And I so appreciate him being able to do that. But I'm looking at months and months of doing it. It's just not profitable for me to do that when I have all these other cars that are in the shop that I can make money on, and I'm going to be learning something new, which I kind of want to do it because I'd be learning something new and I'd be learning how to do the big wheel thing. And there are a good amount of cars around here that want to do 24s on, you know, a Monte Carlo, on a Chevelle, on a Mustang, things like that. There is a lot of that around, but it's just something I can't do right now where I'm at, how I'm set up here. It would just take too long to do it. So I'm going to be passing the car off to Steve. So we'll bring it out there and I'll give you a little lowdown on what Steve does. I'm sure he'll let me walk through the shop and you guys will be able to check out and see what he does. So what I'm going to do right now, the car is roadworthy. It's up, it's running. I got the transmission fixed. We're all good to go. I'm going to clean it up, give it a bath, tighten up what looks like to be a leaking problem with the power steering, clean up the engine compartment, clean up the car itself. It'll be ready to transport. We'll head out to Steve's. Let me fire her off. I will say this, she runs a little fat. So I think the sniper kit, I don't know if it's still self-learning. But like I said, this is just a stock 502, 440 horse. But she sounds good through the Flowmasters. He is definitely going to enjoy himself in this car. So I don't need to take this thing out and drive it. There's no point to it. It runs, it moves back and forth, does its job. It's all ready to go over to Steve's. I got the wheels in the back of the truck. Chevelle's unloaded, and we are at Executive Motorsports. I'm going to introduce you guys to my boy Steve. This is the place for lowriders, big wheel, and just some badass stuff. We're going to walk inside. I'm going to take you a little tour around this place. Guys, he has got some cool stuff inside here. Check this out. Now this is the cool little lounging area that you get to see some views in, and they set everything up really nice to where you can actually see what's going out in the shop. But if you don't want to get dirty and you just want to stay in the nice clean area, well, that's what you got. But then you get to come out here and you get to see all the goodies. And for you hot rod guys, low rider guys, muscle car guys, just car people in frickin' general, how are you going to come to a place like this and not be smiling? Absolutely. And there's the man himself. There's Steve right there. And then this Buick that you see behind me, well, this is his little toy. And the cool part with this is he is not going to be throwing just an LS turbo in this thing. He is actually going to be doing something a little outside the box. I don't know, a secret squirrel. Should I be, I don't know.
No, you can tell.
All right. So we're going to be doing, he is going to be doing it. So you're just saying we.
It actually might be we, but we'll talk about that later.
Apparently I got a mouse in my pocket. But it's going to be a straight 6 turbo in this thing. Making some good power. It's going to be quiet. It's going to be silent, but I tell you what, you're not going to want to pull up next to this thing. Now, this is nice, though, man. Now, when did you pick this thing up?
I got this last year.
Now, what have you done to her?
So it was already painted when I picked it up. I got it from a gentleman that lives local to me named Doug Miller.
Okay.
And, so I got lucky. It was already painted. We did, I called US Mag and had them put me together a set of wheels. We did a 22 by 10 in the back and a 20 by 8.5 in the front. I did a red line tire, and then we tubbed it. We shortened the rear end, notched the frame, and then I did a C6 spindle on the front with a 15-inch wheel weight kit and then a 14-inch wheel weight kit in the rear.
Nice.
And it's on coilovers. Stock frame still. That might change later too.
Got this gorgeous 65 Impala. Doing the hydraulics on it right now, getting everything ready to rock and roll. This will be a head turner. They're finishing up on the convertible top. They're going to do it as a stock interior. Nice mural. And you can see all good size shop. And they just don't do, plain and simple, it's not just lowriders, big wheels, stuff like that. They're pretty much working on everything. You got your grudge racing type cars, you got drag cars, you got your Mercedes up getting done, still doing original alignments and things like that. Everything gets done in here for these guys. As you can see, this wide body Monty SS. That's different. That is definitely different. Nice 65 Chevelle over here. Oh yeah. The blown LT4 in it. Kind of hard to see. They keep everything wrapped up so customers' cars don't get all nasty and dirty and all that stuff. But looking cool. But everybody's here, busting their butts, getting the jobs done. Got a nice 72 getting worked on. Now, Steve's up front doing his thing, dealing with customers. Figured I'd walk in the back, show you guys what's going on, give you a little bit of a rundown of what these guys do here. And as you can tell, like I said, it's not a one-stop type shop. He does all kinds of different stuff in here. You know, you got a nice little rotisserie going here. This is just Bigfoot written all over it for damn sure right there. Nice Buick GS sitting over here. 454 Vet. There's all kinds of cool stuff that gets done here at Executive Motorsports. If you guys want, hit me down in the comments, and we can always come back here, BS a little bit more if you guys want to know more what happens here in the shop. But again, I just had to drop off the Chevelle, and we got to make it back to my shop. So this is going to be the end of this video. I know you guys want to see more. Hit me down in the comments. We'll come back here. We'll talk to Steve, get him a little bit more rundown. But as you can tell, he's extremely busy. It's that time of the season, you guys. So till we meet again, my friends, I'll catch you guys in the next one. See ya.